Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about something real, something most people are afraid to say out loud. But today we're breaking that silence because this conversation could be the difference between shame and self-mastery, between frustration and fulfillment. Today, we uncover the secret technique that can help you last longer during sex and reclaim the confidence that so many have lost in silence. Let's be honest, premature ejaculation or finishing too quickly is something millions of men deal with. It's more common than you think. It happens to strong men, smart men, loving men. But for too long, it's been treated as something to hide rather than something to fix. But here's the truth. Lasting longer in bed is not about size, stamina, or magic pills. It's about control, connection, and consciousness. So what's the secret? It's a technique as old as human focus itself, and it's called the start-stop technique. Yes, simple in name, powerful in results. Here's how it works. Step 1. Awareness is power. Let's start at the core. Awareness. Because no technique, no supplement, no promise of stamina will work unless you build a powerful relationship with your own body. And that relationship begins with awareness. You see, most men are completely disconnected from their arousal patterns. They don't know how to track where they are on the arousal scale. They move through sex blindly, rushing through the moment, chasing the climax, losing all control the second the pleasure gets intense. But here's the truth. You can't master what you're not aware of. The key to lasting longer is learning to recognize the exact moment you're nearing your point of no return. It's that edge, that place where the pleasure is overwhelming and you feel like you're going to explode. The place where you usually push forward because it feels amazing, but then it's over in seconds. This is where your power begins. Instead of pushing through, you need to pause. Right there at that 6 or 7 on the arousal scale, not at a 9. You don't wait until it's too late. You stop before the peak. This is the foundation of the start-stop technique. You let yourself feel the buildup. You stay present. You watch your body like a skilled craftsman watches his tools intently, carefully. You slow down, and when you pause, you breathe. You take control back from your body's reflex. You switch from automatic to conscious. That's what awareness gives you: choice. Instead of being a passenger in your sexual experience, you become the driver. You feel your body's signals and use them as information, not instruction. A wave of intense pleasure doesn't mean go faster. It might mean slow down. It might mean stop. It might mean take a deep breath and change rhythm. This kind of awareness rewires your brain because your brain has been trained, maybe for years, to equate arousal with immediate gratification. But now you're retraining it to associate arousal with presence and patience. You become sensitive to your breathing, your muscle tension, your energy. You start noticing the subtle signals: your thighs clenching, your breathing speeding up, your heart racing. And when you do, you respond, not react. This is where your transformation begins. This awareness spills over into other parts of your life too. You become more in tune with your emotions, your thoughts, your control over impulses. You become more confident, not because you're perfect, but because you're present. And that, my friend, is true sexual power, not lasting longer through force, but lasting longer through focus. Because awareness isn't just power, it's the beginning of mastery. Step 2, breathe like a master. If awareness is your foundation, then breath is your anchor. You see, most men don't realize it, but the way you breathe during sex or fail to breathe has a direct impact on how long you last. And yet, it's the most overlooked technique in building sexual stamina. Let's get one thing straight. When you're approaching climax, your breathing naturally changes. It becomes shallow, rapid, tight. You start holding tension in your chest, your abs, your jaw, even your toes. And without even knowing it, your whole body starts working against your control. That tightening, that shallowness, it triggers a chain reaction in your nervous system. It sends the message, we're close, it's time to finish. And that's exactly what happens. But here's the secret. You can reverse this. The breath is the bridge between your body and your mind. It's the one thing you can always control, no matter how intense the moment becomes. Start breathing deeply into your belly, also called diaphragmatic breathing. When you breathe like this, you activate your parasympathetic nervous system, the one responsible for relaxation, calm, and control. This slows your heart rate, reduces anxiety, and most importantly, it gives you space between stimulation and ejaculation. Here's a powerful technique you can use right away. Breathing method. Inhale for 4 seconds. Hold for 4 seconds. Exhale for 4 seconds. Hold for 4 seconds. Repeat this cycle as you're making love, especially when your arousal builds. It will ground you, center you, and give you a pause inside the pleasure. Now listen, breathing is not just about lasting longer. It's about becoming more present. When you slow your breath, you slow your mind. You start feeling more, not less. You sync with your partner. You become aware of her breath, her body, her rhythm. This is where true intimacy begins. You stop chasing the finish line. You start enjoying the journey. And let's talk science for a moment. Controlled breathing reduces cortisol, the stress hormone that can spike when you're anxious about performance. It also improves oxygen flow to your brain and muscles, which keeps you focused and in control. You become calm while staying aroused. And that balance, that beautiful tension between intensity and inner stillness, is where sexual mastery lives. So the next time you feel like you're getting close too fast, don't panic. Breathe. Slow everything down. Let your breath lead your body. Because a man who breathes with intention lasts with power. And the man who can slow time with his breath can give his partner a night she'll never forget. Step 3. Train your mind. Train your body. Let's be crystal clear. Lasting longer in sex isn't luck. It's not magic. It's not just biology. It's a skill. And like any skill, it requires training, mental and physical. You wouldn't expect to walk into a gym for the first time and bench press 300 pounds, right? You'd train for it. You'd build your strength gradually. You'd start small, be consistent, and trust the process. Sexual stamina is no different. Most men have trained their bodies unknowingly to release quickly. Maybe it started as a teenager, rushing through masturbation to avoid being caught. Maybe it continued through stress, anxiety, or performance pressure. Maybe it became a habit so ingrained they believed it was permanent. But habits can be broken, new ones can be formed, and you can train your body and your mind to perform differently. This is where discipline meets desire. If you want to last longer, you have to develop control through repetition. You need to practice edging, bringing yourself close to climax, then stopping, resetting, and starting again. Not once, not twice, over and over. This trains your body to become comfortable with high arousal without rushing to ejaculation. It's about building endurance, not suppression. You're not holding back, you're holding steady. And here's where the mind comes in. Because lasting longer isn't just about physical control. It's about mastering your thoughts. Performance anxiety kills stamina. If you're in your head thinking, don't finish too fast, don't mess this up, please last longer this time. You're already lost. That tension, that pressure creates more arousal, more stress, and a quicker release. So you need to rewire your mental narrative. Start affirming yourself before you even get to the bedroom. Tell yourself, I'm in control of my body. I move with intention. I choose when to release. I last longer because I train for it. And when you're in the moment, shift your focus. Don't obsess over how long you've lasted. Focus on connection. Tune into your partner, her breath, her reactions, her energy. Sex is not a race. It's a dance, a rhythm, a sacred exchange. Every session is a chance to improve. Every pause you take, every breath you own, every edge you control, that's training. And it's not just about the bedroom. This level of control spills over into every area of your life. You become calmer under pressure, more focused, more composed, because when you learn to command your body in the most intense, pleasurable moments, you unlock a new level of self-mastery. So don't just wish for longer stamina. Train for it, because your body listens to repetition, and your mind listens to belief. And when those two align, when discipline meets desire, you become unstoppable. Real intimacy is built on control. Lasting longer is not just about sex. It's about finesse. It's about making your partner feel seen, heard, and deeply satisfied. It's about showing up as a man who knows his body, understands his power, and brings patience and pleasure into the bedroom. This is not about ego. This is about intention. Take back the power. So today I challenge you, don't settle for just enough. Don't keep making excuses. Don't believe the lie that you just can't last long. You can, because now you know the technique, you know the mindset, and the rest, that's on you. Commit to this practice, not for pride, but for presence, not for performance, but for connection, because the man who controls his pleasure controls his world. Thank you.